I can see you guys.
All right,
Yeah, I can
we
see you
are
guys.
back. Sorry
I
about
can't see
that.
I can't see Devin though, so that's okay.
Sorry about
I
that,
can't see
guys.
Devin though.
There's been all sorts of problems. For some reason, where we broadcast our audio only from is dead. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but they are working on it. But their phones aren't working, and I can't connect. Well, I can connect, but I just can't hear anything. So it would kind of suck for everyone else.
Like Blog Talk's down completely.
It's not down completely. It's just their connections here. So I am joined tonight. This is Patriot News Podcast. You would hear an intro, but I can't play the intro because that's on Blog Talk. I am joined today by Devin, who's on the screen right now, host of Trenchwork Chronicles, which is on every Friday night on Blog Talk, blogtalkradio.com/Patriot News. How you doing, Devin?
I'm well. How are you guys tonight?
I am doing good, and we are joined by Nick Torres. Nick is of Liberty Report, and how are you doing?
I'm doing well, dude. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Can y'all?
Devin, you sound like a damn robot. All right, there you go. I see you. And
Am I good?
You're good. And also Donovan of Liberty Report, the editor in chief, I guess. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
All
But
right.
I think we can also add head asshole to that title today.
Yeah. Hey man, it worked out for the best, right? And why am I got my laptop. Hi Archangel, how you doing? This has been a clusterfuck of a show. I'm not monetized, so I will drop the F-bombs. I usually don't drop F-bombs. I drop F-bombs very rarely unless everything on the planet is going wrong. And apparently tonight, when we decided to do a Patriot News podcast, it happened. First, our audio only went down, and now this. So, yeah, I'm going to have to... it's going to be a pain. But a little backstory. Patriot News Podcast is where we all started at. For about 5 years, I've been doing a podcast called Patriot News Podcast. And yeah, and so we decided to relaunch it tonight. And of course, when we relaunched it on our audio only platform, it died. So I just wanted to jump into some news here and get your opinions on something. Uh, we usually do a little banter, but we're not going to do that tonight because we're in a rush. And Devin's the one we wanted to talk to you about that, but yeah, Devin's gone. Hey, Chris Shoemake, who is one of our Patreons. You can support us on patreon.com/John Crump. And Devin is back. Devin, this question's for you. This is what I've been trying. Okay. Devin, this question is for you. I've been trying to get in touch with you today because I wanted to see what your response to this is. There is a woman named, her last name is Talib, and she's Talib or something like that, and she is a Democrat, and she was at a Detroit police station. And her thing was, she asked the chief of police that he only hire African Americans to be his surveillance people. And when he said, why? She said, because non African Americans have a hard time telling African Americans apart. And he's like, I want to hire the best people possible. And you see this guy behind her, this cop behind her, this, just like all of a sudden his eyes got really big. Like, what the hell did you just say? The video, that's the video I sent you earlier, Devin.
Okay. That's funny. There is a bit of truth to that, but it's not enough to where you can say you wouldn't be able to do it with surveillance. Like, I've definitely heard that from, like, I've heard other races say black people, like, so looks like this person and they look nothing alike. So I get it, but I think that's everybody. Like, I don't think that's just like a black thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you shouldn't say that
Like,
of a politician.
honestly, no, you shouldn't. It honestly, it doesn't hold enough weight, like, to merit you only hiring black cops. Like,
Yeah.
surveillance is good enough and technology is good enough to where whoever's doing that job should be educated enough to tell the difference between, two different black people.
Devin,
Like,
you're breaking up
reaching,
really bad.
right?
Yeah, and you're
Hear me
kind of
now?
frozen. You're kind of frozen. You're like moving at like 2 frames a second. Donovan, I'm gonna kick it to you. What do you think of Talib's comment?
I'd like to know when the double standard will stop. We've been told now for 3.5 years that every person who's supported Trump or is a Republican or has semi-conservative views that we're racist. But yet you get Democrat to leave out there who openly says that if you aren't black, you can't tell the difference between another black person. So, so basically, just said that every white, Asian, Hispanic, Polynesian, insert other race here. I don't know how many more out there. You can't tell the difference between one black person and another black person because apparently they are all so similar to her that only black people can tell them apart. And I think that is horribly offensive to everybody.
Yeah, she was like, well, she was like, well, people, we even get them mixed up in Congress. I'm like, what the hell? You get them mixed up in Congress. She said, well, we get the black representatives mixed up in Congress all the time. I'm just like,
Is
what
that
the
a
hell?
we or is that a you?
That reminds me of when Hillary Clinton and I think it was Elizabeth Warren who said that like Eric Holder and somebody else looked alike, and then Hillary was like, "Yeah, they all look alike." I was like, "Wow!" So Democrats are just open with their racism.
Yeah, they definitely are. Nick, I'm gonna kick it over to you. Your opinion on it? Do you have an opinion on it?
I think it's number one. I think it's unbelievably racist. Like Donovan said, the double standard is it's out there, and when it will stop, no one knows. Um, it's not even surprising anymore when it comes to this whole democratic racism thing, and apparently it's okay for her to say it, which is completely wrong because it's not okay. But she still says it anyway, and she tries. That's the worst part. Um, it's it's baffling to say the least. And honestly, I think she should get some sort of lashback, and she probably won't. That's the other thing. She probably won't. And it's plain and simple. It's wrong what she said,
Yeah.
and it'll never change when it comes to the Democrats.
Yeah. Back to you. Devin. You did a whole show one time on the secret racist history of the Democratic Party, didn't you?
Yeah, that was actually one of like our first episodes. I mean, they've just proven track record of always being a racist party. I mean, you have a few that stand out. Like, there's always exceptions, but for the most part,
Devin.
Democrats have always been based off of racism and division.
Hey, Devin.
Division is really the thing.
Devin, you're breaking up extremely bad, man.
All right, I'm gonna leave out and try to come back in.
All right, that works. All right.
Oh, he sounded good there.
Yeah, he sounded good when he said he was going. Yeah, but I mean, I just thought it's definitely weird that they have a double standard and everything like that. But it is what it is. They're never going to change. They're always going to have a double standard. It's just the way. It's
Yep.
just the way it is. They are the party of racism. They are the party of the Ku Klux Klan, and they're trying to pitch this idea that there was a party switch back in the 60s, which there wasn't at all. It's just something that they.
Yeah. I think,
That Devin? Devin, you're even worse, man.
yeah.
You're even worse. Are you on Wi-Fi or cellular?
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm at home.
All right.
I feel like I got one of those old ham radios, and I'm hearing the ghosts come in and out of the static.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on an episode of Ghost Hunters right now.
What was that movie called with Dennis Quaid? White Noise. That's what it was. That's what it reminds me of.
Hey, Devin, do you want me to call you on the phone? Okay, he's gone. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Bye, Devin.
I guess he's gonna call back in.
But,
It's
but-
one hell of a night to relaunch the Patriot News podcast. You know.
but like I was saying, that we don't need to look at the Democrats as the party of racism because of the KKK and all that stuff. Yeah, the Democrats were a part of that, but the most current KKK are, in all reality, they are the extremely far right. I mean, that's yeah, if you put them on a map, they're going to be sitting on the far right. We need to look at what their current policies are. The policies that they try to push in highly affect primarily minority communities. The policies that they, for economic growth, actually diminish the value of minorities. I don't, Devin, here's a question for you. How do you feel about equal opportunity laws?
How do I sound?
You sound
A lot
good
better.
now.
All right, cool. I went and got my Ethernet cord. All right.
There you go.
So, what was the question again?
How do you feel about equal opportunity laws?
Like, what is it? Affirmative action?
Yes, affirmative action for colleges and hiring through businesses.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever really seen it I don't see the effect of it. Like, it's almost one of those things that they put into place just to say they put something into place, and it's really ineffective. Like, that's anything that's government regulated like that. Like, you're not good. Like, you can't regulate racism away. You know what I mean?
You can try, and that's what they try.
Oh, yeah.
In so many different ways, but I don't know. I've heard bad things about it. I'm not really familiar with it because I always get hired off of my track record, my resume.
You said Trapper Keeper? What?
My track record and my resume.
Oh, they said Trapper Keeper. I'm like, yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really ridiculous how they can just get away with it. I mean, it's sad, really.
I mean, Harvard just got sued by like a group of Asians because they've been discriminating against Asians with
Yeah.
test.
Yeah, the Asians have to get a higher score than anyone else. I think that's wrong.
I do find it funny that the Democrats love to exploit who they consider to be the minorities. The Democrats love to exploit blacks, Hispanics, Middle Eastern, out on the list. But you start talking about Asians. Asians are in the top 10% of earners, and not 1% of earners in our country. Most Asians in this country make a median income of somewhere, I think it was $110,000. And Asians are doing extremely well in school. They have the highest test scores. They do so well here. But the second that an Asian is discriminated against in one way or another, the Democrats will throw them underneath the bus as fast as they'll throw a white person underneath the bus.
Of course they will.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called I don't know if guys ever read Thomas Sowell?
No.
If you haven't read Thomas Sowell, you really should. He is an African American scholar, and one of his things is he says that the Democrats have minority groups on the plantation.
Thomas Sowell?
Yeah.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. He read a
Yeah.
good book about it.
Not Candace Parker. Candace Owens references him a lot.
Yeah. But if you read his books, it's really good. It's really good books. But I don't really want to stay there. I want to go to a topic on Twitter where Trump posted a meme, and in the meme, it had Joe Biden saying that that he never had any dealings with his son's company, his Ukrainian company, and what it was it goes to a picture of Biden with his son and the owner of the company, the president of the Ukrainian company, who Biden says he never had any contact with. And Twitter removed it because they said the copyright holder requested it to be removed.
You missed the context of how the picture was posted. The picture was posted within the
Nickelback song.
from the Nickelback song.
I was getting there.
Look at this photograph. Oh, okay.
I was getting there. Twitter removed it, but memes have been judged. Memes have been judged to be fair use. So, doesn't this fall into fair use?
It does.
And for the Twitch people, I know this is listed under Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I forgot to change it, and that's too late to change it now. Yeah.
But it is fair use. He did nothing that would have taken money away from it wasn't Nickelback. It was the company that owns the rights to the Nickelback song. I don't remember the name that listed the copyright violation. And
I feel bad for the company that owns that song.
Yeah, I don't. They make millions of dollars.
Oh, I can't stand it, dude.
Don't make me pull the Deadpool reference on Nickelback. But anyway, they've done this type of stuff before. Trump just happens to be the political target this time. But John, I know you follow people on YouTube who have been directly affected by fair use. I don't know about anybody else here, but I've watched a lot of things where especially when YouTube was going through the fair use strikes hard a couple of years ago. Companies will hit anything for fair use. Doesn't matter if it was a 10-second clip of a video that was voiced over or if it's a picture. Cyanide and Happiness went on a lawsuit against a couple websites many years ago for them displaying images of their comics that were altered for pictures. But the websites won because of fair use, and because they didn't post the pictures, it was user posted. So they didn't apply there.
Yeah, H3 podcast actually had something with fair use, and they took it to court and they won.
Yeah. So what this is you can call it a political attack, which it might be, but this just might be the private industry attempting to flex their power against the president just to see what they can get away with. I think that's more likely what it is and less of the Joe Biden thing, because, I think I've seen the Joe Biden clip about a dozen times today while surfing Facebook.
Yeah. You're probably right, but I just thought it was interesting how the whole fair use thing, because fair use is something that I'm very familiar with working in journalism. And a lot of companies right now, they try to push the boundaries of what they can consider not fair use and try to push it over the edge, which...
Yeah. Well, my wife and I used to do a blog on YouTube. We ended up stopping because we realized our life is very boring. But one day we had gone to Bass Pro Shop, and in the background there was a song being played. I don't remember which one it was. And when I posted the video, not even 10 seconds after I posted it, I get a fair use copyright strike because of a song that was playing behind me talking to my, at the time, infant son. And so now the whole video that's out there is muted because I couldn't just cancel the single part of the sound. They cut the whole sound from the whole video.
Yeah. What fair use is, it means you can use other people's content or other content out there as long as it's transformative, educational, or informative, like news. So a meme is transformative. So that is
And
covered in,
parody.
and parody, yeah. Like a meme is transformative, and it's been argued in court multiple times whether it's not, and memes have always ended up on the fair use end of the spectrum. So that's what fair use is. So people were asking, have you ran into anything with fair use in any of your podcasts or anything, Devin?
Nah. The intro that I use, well, the two intros, you made one of them, and then the other one I downloaded from like a free instrumental website. And honestly, I don't like a lot of the rap music that's out anyways, so nah.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous.
But you know, it's a, to me that's a all knee jerk reaction from people getting screwed from, streaming numbers getting skewed and not being paid properly. And now everybody's just setting algorithms to make sure that their content is making sure it's getting paid for. So I get it. It's just, again, it's another overreach.
Yeah, I got a fair use strike, and I fought it in one because the clip that when I copyright strike because the clip that was that was in the video was from Austria, and there was a violinist playing some his version of a Mozart song. So they struck me, and I'm like, it's Mozart. It's the copyright's expired, and plus, and you're not that guy, so I'm sure that guy wasn't. So I won, but I had to fight back, and it took about a month. And during that month, I had monetized videos at the time. This was my old channel, so basically all the ad revenue went to them. And no, I did not make a rap intro. I hired someone to make an intro.
I would pay you $10 for that.
Yeah, I threw $10 out there.
You know what, guys? Go pound sand.
I thought we were about to get something. $20. Hey, $20 is $20. Even this freaking tuneless idiot will try it.
Okay.
I'm saying I'm the tuneless idiot, not John.
All right. Did you guys see the knife attack today?
Yup.
I'm gonna throw
That's part of my new asshole clown term. I saw it as soon as it popped up on Fox this morning. It was 7 minutes after it was posted, and I went with the SpongeBob meme saying gun control gun control works or something along those lines, and it shows 4 dead police from knife attack in Paris.
Yep.
There was a knife attack, a mass stabbing where 5 people were stabbed. I think a couple days ago in Baltimore.
Yup. This is, dang it, I was about to pull it up.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to G-Web's gun websites out there on YouTube. He's a pretty big YouTuber. He's a really cool guy, and he just gave us a thumbs up. Thanks, G-Webs. All right, go ahead, Devin.
Yeah, in Baltimore, a knife-wielding man stabbed 5 people in seemingly a random attack in the suburbs of Baltimore.
Oh, how nice.
Right. And the police had to come shoot him to stop him with guns.
Wasn't there a guy who stabbed and killed 2 people or attacked 2 people with a machete in California a few weeks ago also?
Probably.
It's California, so probably, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a high chance. You're right.
Yeah. And Cowboy, our Facebook chat room brings up a good point where that guy in China killed 20 people about a year ago with a knife.
Yep, it was 26 people that he killed and injured another 35 with a knife.
Yeah, and then Japan, the other guy went around and he actually douse people in gasoline and set them on fire.
Oh my god.
So
Don't forget the standard gas attacks of '92 in Japan,
Yep.
or the Unabomber. The proof that gun control doesn't work is literally labeled in the bodies across history when
Yeah.
it comes to non-wartime deaths. Whether if it's from a bombing, a truck, a car, an airplane, you start naming it, and somebody's more than one person has probably been killed by it. I give you a bet. There's a mass death by hammer out there somewhere. Probably even by something like this. I don't know.
Pressure cookers. Those are the new hot things to use now. For
Oh yeah.
Yep.
yeah, okay. So here's my question. I'm gonna throw this to Nick. Nick,
What's
why
up?
don't you think the media covers it the same?
Oh, because I have like this whole conspiracy theory. It's the whole global elitist agenda to where they want to demonize firearms in general all around the world to where they're finally out of the hands of all citizens around the world, and just population control after that. But if it doesn't fit the narrative, like knife wise and stuff, they don't care because everybody has a knife. Knives are more common when it comes to like I don't know, eating, cooking, whatever, and just doesn't fit the narrative for them.
Well, in the
So,
UK, they're banning pointy knives, so
oh, of
there is
course, yeah, I
that.
heard about that.
Yeah. What's your take on it, Donovan?
Um, I truly believe Google, or not Google, Disney is behind all of this. Right now, Disney controls most of the world, in my opinion. Um, but no, in all reality, it's about control. They don't talk about the knife attacks. They don't talk about the Boston bombings anymore. They don't talk about anything that directly links to different forms of terrorism or mass death because it doesn't apply to control. You don't hear about the Rwanda massacres years ago that were done with machetes and machine guns in Africa. Even though I know that was talked about for a short time, there was movies made about it, and then it all went up in smoke. Why? Because it's showing that deaths happen across the world. That places like Africa and Japan and other utopias don't exist. And it's about controlling the mentality, and people are stupid and they're willing to believe it. I believe most people are too stupid to look into the information themselves, and it would take a literal brick to the face to wake them up to show them what the reality of it is that you're being controlled. Because it took me a couple of years to figure that out.
You brought up Rwanda, and that brings up a point. I'm gonna throw this to Devin to see if Devin can answer this for me. What the hell happened to Coney? Remember the Coney 2012 shit?
Yo, I remember that, right? The funniest part about Coney, right? Kanye West came out with a song called Diamonds Are Forever about Sierra Leone and children being enslaved in diamond mines, right? This was like 2005, 2006. So when this whole Coney thing popped back up, I was like we're worried about this now? Like we should have been worried about this years ago. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what happened. It was hot for what, like a couple months, and that was it. If I'm not mistaken, Netflix ended up making a series that was very similar to that story. It was called like God of War or something like that. Idris Elba was the star of it.
Yeah, I think it was the Children's God Army or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And I watched like the first 3 episodes. He started fucking with kids, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. And that's when I stopped watching it. But I couldn't tell you what happened with the Coney shit.
Well, one thing, Coney was a small time warlord. He wasn't even one of the big ones.
Oh yeah, no. He was just a guy who was taking orphan kids and turning them into soldiers.
Yeah, he was a
That's not
scumbag.
uncommon.
Right.
But I mean, in
Now,
Africa, in
that's
Sierra
what
Leone, that happens all the time. You know. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of crazy that all of a sudden it was there, then all of a sudden it is gone.
Like gone.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, I guess no one cares
like the
anymore.
Virginia,
Well, you know the
like the
guy,
Virginia Beach chicken.
yeah, you know the guy who started that, like, went crazy, and they had to put him in a psychiatric ward because they found him running down the street naked.
What?
Yeah, look it up, man.
Didn't know that one.
And I don't know if you can put in the psych ward for that one. I'm glad they didn't catch me in college.
Yeah, it was college years. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's ridiculous. The news, to my point, is a lot of it's made up. But you know, what can you do, right?
Yep.
John, you're talking about that. No, it's funny. I just finished before we got on this Tim Pool's most recent video on his main channel,
Tim Pool's a cool
and
guy.
it's
Tim Pool's a really good guy, a really good independent journalist.
he is. In fact, I honestly don't even bother looking at the news anymore, and I get it directly from him because I can't trust 99% of what I see anymore. In fact, it's gotten so bad I don't trust Fox. I don't trust. Of course, we don't trust any of the liberal rags out there. But I was just watching his video, and he's like, for this video, I wanted to talk about the Trump impeachment or Ukraine gate or this, and he's like, but I've talked about this over and over and over again. The media finds something, they latch onto it, they run with it for a while. When they realize it's fake, they make it disappear and then find a new thing, latch onto it, and run with it for a while. And that's the way we've been, I'd say, for at least the last 3 years, if not longer. Especially underneath the Trump administration, our media has latched on to Russia, uh, impeachment this, impeachment that, Republicans this, Trump that, and it continues on. And it's all made of crap just to keep themselves attempted above water. That's why, honestly, watch and listen to him, because he seems to have the most independent views when it comes to circumstances. I disagree with his views on firearms, but everything else I can actually listen to and have a potential conversation with him if I ever get to talk to him.
Yeah. Matt in our Facebook chat room says ratings, ratings, ratings. Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's all about the money. In fact, most TV stations, most TV stations are struggling with the variety. Like that, I remember reading an article on this, with the variety and cheapness of streaming channels out there: Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, such and such. Normal TV is starting to die. In fact, I mean, look at Netflix. How many brand new TV shows do they have coming out pretty much each and every month that have better quality than most cable network would ever begin to provide? When was the last time you saw a cable network show that was as exciting as something like, I think, Punisher or Daredevil? I didn't like those shows personally, but I know a lot of people did. There you go, Shooter. That was a good show. You got Amazon, who
Shooter started out on USA Network.
Did it?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Well, Netflix stole it and made it better. But then you've got like Amazon, who took BBC's prize stars, the ones that were kicked off of Top Gear, and made probably the best sort of show that they could have with Grand Tour. You've got Hulu coming up with countless originals that are just as entertaining to watch.
And they have live sports now.
Yeah, cable networks are dying fast, and people with like CNN and so on and so forth, they're finding other places to go. Hell, even YouTube got its own shows, and I still need to sit down and watch Cobra Kai.
Dude, that's a great show.
I've been meaning to watch it. I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't had a chance.
From the Facebook chat room, Game of Thrones and Walking Dead are both on cable networks. I think Netflix is trying to develop a lot of TV shows because they're losing a lot of content with Disney Plus launching. Disney owns Fox and Miramax and Marvel. and Lucasfilms, basically 55% of every
Sony.
movie, and they're pulling all the content off Netflix.
You know that they're going to buy Sony just to spite them to keep Spider-Man after the
Oh,
third
yeah.
movie. That's my feeling.
No, you didn't hear the latest news about the Spider-Man thing, did you, Donovan?
I know they got the third movie, but I said they're going to buy Sony just to
No.
keep Spider-Man after the third movie.
You haven't heard the latest news, have you?
Oh God, what did they do this time?
They are not only keeping Spider-Man in the MCU, but Venom is now part of the MCU, and so is Morbius. All the Spider-Verse movies are now part of the MCU.
I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen the most recent Spider-Man, but I'm down with Venom being part of the MCU, mainly
Oh, that'd
because
be great.
I watched
like
the
Venom
recent
movie.
Spider-Man last night.
Everybody
It was
has
great.
said.
The recent Spider-Man was great. It was better than the first one.
Oh yeah.
A lot of
Now,
shocks, a lot of twists at the very end.
so we will see, what happens with that. But John, I think this all comes down to is that CNN, MSNBC. I don't think Fox is as afraid now that they're owned by Disney, but all of the big media channels.
No. Fox is not owned by Disney. The TV station isn't.
Okay, so Fox News is probably shitting its pants along with MSNBC, CNN, and if you start counting them all up, huh?
No, someone in the Facebook chat room does not know what the MCU is.
Whoa.
Hold on. All right, so somebody grab the horses. We need to take him on a ride.
It's a series of movies that made, I think, $20 billion so far.
What we need to do.
Every time there's an MCU movie, it's gonna make at least $1 billion. Anything below $1 billion in profit is a flop for an MCU movie.
See, what we need to do is we need to take that person, put him in a chair, chain him up, and then make him sit through Iron Man 1 through Endgame.
Yeah, it's Cowboy.
Oh, he's lying. Cowboy, you lying. I know you're lying. I'll deal with you later.
Yeah, there's no way Cowboy does not know what the MCU is. Just
For how often we talk about it in the chat, yeah, no.
yeah. I'm a big MCU fanboy.
But yeah, so the media stations, the media is afraid, and I think part of it has to do with what's going on inside of our current political what's going on in our political setup right now. We've got the Democrats are basically shooting themselves in the foot. Now, we haven't talked about it on the Patriot News because we have been on a bit of a hiatus. The main hosts, me and Nick.
I didn't know you guys were in a hiatus until I tried to listen one night. Then I'm like, where is everyone?
Well, me and Nick have been busy. We're both in school. Ray is busy. MJ is busy. Basically, all of our primary hosts on Thursday nights have gone from being available to maybe. We'll try and start becoming more consistent again. It's all going to depend on a number of factors, but we haven't talked about what's been going on. And what sums it all up in just a few short words is the Democrats are shooting themselves in the foot. They're going to bury the Democrat Party for at least the next election. And there is a damn good chance that the Republicans and maybe even some moderates are going to come in and completely flatten the Democrats in Congress and take back majority towards a more Republican setup. Because this impeachment hearing they're going through is unpopular. Everybody hates it, and nobody believes them.
Okay, I'm going to throw this one to Nick because Nick really haven't talked at all tonight.
I've been laughing the whole time.
There was we're going to get into gun stuff. My wheelhouse. There was a group called Femmes from Dems. And I think it was, damn, I can't remember the state. It was somewhere out in Michigan, I think. And they made up a fake name and they booked a fundraiser rally at a gun club.
Okay.
And basically they did it under a fake name and everything, and then they went and started to push their anti-gun agenda, started yelling death to the NRA, not death to NRA, but NRA must go, NRA must go, inside this gun place, because they were supposed to be like a women's group, and they lied. So there was all this arguing back between the members and them and stuff like that, but it was done on purpose. What do you think of that, Nick?
Now I did an article on this whole anti-firearms, this sentiment they have going on, and I think it's dumb. I think it's really, I wouldn't say dumb. I think it's hazardous to the nation itself. Because let's face it, we're seeing groups like this, more malicious groups, more malicious anti-2A groups, I should say, and they're taken to the streets and they're really doing stuff like this that's throwing up some alarms. Now, in my article I was talking about how this is a repeat of history. History always repeats itself, and the United States is looking. I want to say looking down the barrel of another repeated history. Europe was a big thing when it came to firearms confiscations. Asia, Cambodia, stuff like that. We see it all the time, and the problem is we don't learn from it because we see these radical groups, and I'm going to call them radicals because there's no other way to describe them. We see these groups forming, and you see a lot of violence. Now, it's not just physical violence, because you'll see that here and there, but the verbal violence, the threats, the call to action that you see from Democrats, and I want to go over this whole thing that Joe Biden said too, if you guys don't mind, when it comes to assault weapons. I see the United States as a whole going down a path that I think that it's going to not only divide the country even more than what it already has, but we are looking at something that might be beyond repair for at least a few years after something big that may or may not occur. But that's how I feel about it.
You know what, Nick? You are the silent Bob of the show tonight. You don't say very much, but when you do say something, it's poetic and thought-provoking.
Oh, thank you, John.
I'm gonna kick it over to Devin. What do you think, buddy?
Well, thanks for making me follow Nick. But I agree. It's just toxic, man. And I feel like the way that they're weaponizing the youth and getting them to push an agenda that they're not even basically pushing an agenda to get rid of rights that they're not even old enough to exercise yet. So I feel like if these kids at least got some sort of education about firearms, that we'd have a better shot. But right now, Democrats have a hold of the youth because they have a hold of pop culture, and they're going to keep pushing that agenda through pop culture, whether it's through actors, entertainers, rappers, anybody. They're just going to keep pushing this same quote unquote we need to get agenda. And unless we do something about it, honestly, it's looking bad.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think they use the youth because then when people attack them, they say, "Oh, that's off limits. You can't attack them."
Which honestly, if you think about that, is bullshit because we used to go by the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, right? Meaning anybody in this village can correct your child. So if I'm telling your child to shut up because they're uninformed about something that they're yelling about, that should be valid. You know what I mean? So
I
that
agree.
you can't quote unquote attack kids thing, it's stupid. Like I can tell a kid you're uninformed and you need to stop talking.
Okay.
See, now hold on. You can't attack a Democrat kid, but when you got some cheeky little turd, I wouldn't call him a turd, he's a cheeky little kid standing outside the Lincoln Memorial smiling because he's being verbally assaulted by a far left, like two groups of far left activists, it's okay to send out doxing and physical threats and death threats and threats to shoot up his school. It's cool.
Right, right.
But if you're talking about Greta or Hogg or his communist friend or any of the other child puppets, oh, they're children. You can't say anything about them. They're just children. They're the future.
Okay, I'm gonna kick it back to Devin for a second because he had a run-in with David Hogg. Do you want to tell us about that?
Oh, I'm excited to hear this.
I couldn't even really say it was a run-in with him because he ducked away from us. But essentially, what happened is we went to his protest at the NRA. The NRA didn't have anything for them, so that's a whole different story. But David Hogg was there, his rhetoric of gun control, blah, 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 blah. But one of his actual, I guess somebody who worked for him came up to us and started talking to us, and he liked what we were saying. The conversation ended. He walked away. We were talking to a different group of people. I think it was a mom and her daughters. And then he comes back up to us and brings us to David Hogg. And I actually have the video, but you can hear him saying, like, if I'm an anti-gun person that can listen to gun advocates and they're making sense and they're bringing forth facts that aren't, necessarily combative. They're facts. He was like, you should be able to listen to them. And David Hogg shut it down completely. Like, he didn't want to hear anything. So we had to explain to that kid and a couple of his other friends that, like, this is what they're doing to you. Like, they don't want to hear both. They don't want you to hear both sides. They just want to preach their message, then push their agenda and scream their rhetoric to you and brainwash you. Like, and I told him, I was like, this is what you get. Like, we came with you willing to talk to him. He's not willing to talk to us. So what does that say about him and his movement? And I think that's when we flipped a couple.
Yeah, that is interesting. Talking about going to a protest and flipping people, and also getting back to the topic of Democrat racism. Devin and I were down in Richmond a few months ago, and Devin was talking to a woman who was very respectful, and Devin was very respectful, and Devin ended up flipping her to our side, really. But another lady came up, and Devin had a picture of the governor of Virginia in blackface next to a friend in a Ku Klux Klan outfit. And you can take it from there because it was hilarious. What happened?
First of all, like, this again this was a perfect example of democratic racism, right? Because here it is, two black people having a perfectly, like, calm, rational conversation, and this lady is, like, nudging past John, nudging past Jordan, like, just getting closer and closer and closer, like, just trying to interject herself into the conversation to the point where I had to, like, stop, and I was like, lady, like, what do you want? Like, say what you want.
She thought you were on her. She couldn't understand why you were on the pro gun side.
At all. Like, she was so wrapped up into whatever little cute comment she wanted to say. Like, she had no idea what she was walking into.
She didn't know that was the governor in the picture and everything. And you're like, what are you talking about? Because she's like saying stuff to you. I was like, and then it hit me. I'm like, Devin, she's assuming that you're on her side.
Yeah, and she was so frustrating. Oh, and then she said that they don't own the American flag, and the next time that Moms Demand Action comes, they're coming with American flag.
Oh my god.
Cool. Like, I don't know what that means, but cool.
No, the lady that we were talking to was like, I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, she was like, I don't know what she was talking about. And then we continued to have our very good conversation, and like John said, we got to flip another one. Because, I mean, I love what she said. She was like, honestly, like, if the government isn't going to disarm, you can't ask the people to disarm. And if that's how I can flip somebody, and like, if that's what I have to use to get somebody to understand, I will definitely use that. Like, now imagine if you did disarm and that government didn't disarm, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Devin, I have a question for you. Have you ever seen Caitlin Bennett's videos that come out?
Yeah.
I know, Caitlin.
Do you feel that people like her who do these videos, whether they are her or other right, more conservative groups, do you think that they are damaging us as much as the far left in their videos?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
To be completely honest, yes, she's toxic. To be honest, like, all she does is provoke. It's like, I mean, like, it's freedom. Like, do what you want to do, but understand you're not really helping the cause anymore. Like, in the beginning, what she was doing, like, I loved Caitlyn. I actually spoke to her like twice through DMs, like, before she like really got huge.
I know,
And I
Caitlin.
told her, I was like, yo, I love what you're doing. Like, I think you should be the face of the gun industry right now. Like, you're young, you're talking to college kids. Like, you are literally the combat to David Hogg. And then I guess whatever it was, it got to her head. Now she's like half of a gun bunny and half like a female Alex Jones.
Well, she got hired by Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, she works for. What is that name of that group again? I forgot. I stopped paying attention to them.
Infowars, and just so
There
you
we
know
go.
that Devin and Donovan, just so you guys know, she is 3 up.
Yeah, I remember that.
3 up.
Wow.
I mean, that's cool. She just
Yeah. I actually know
I
Caitlin.
just believe like if like I don't understand who she's trying to reach, because
She's not
every
trying to reach anyone.
activist that I know is only trying to reach the people that are on the fence, right? People that you can actually talk to. So if those are the people that we should be flipping to get on our side, I don't understand how her radical actions and her antics are helping flip any of those people, other than making her look like a nut-ass gun owner.
When I talked to her, I did an interview with her. I interviewed her for Ammo Land, and I was friends with her back then. And I still she's still on my Facebook and everything, but whatnot. But she back then her motive was pure, but I think
Harry.
it kind of went to her head.
Money and fame.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, she is sponsored by PSA and Springfield, and we know at least Springfield's a bunch of backstabbing bastards anyway. So
The PSA is, and you can't say shit about
That's
PSA.
really weird too. Like, I don't. That to me, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, you sponsor the most radical chick ever, and then you pay anti-gunners.
Yeah, you can't say PSA is anti-gun because they're definitely not.
No,
They're the
not
ones who
them.
jumped on it. Who started shipping 30-round mags to California before anyone else. When that lawsuit came out, they're like, F you.
I don't know about PSA other than the fact that a lot of their parts can use a little bit more quality control. But I was mostly talking about her XD. She made a post. I used to be part of a rather exclusive group on Facebook that I left when I deleted my other account. And I think we spent at least 3 days making fun of her for her Springfield XD.
She upgraded from the Taurus.
Oh, yeah, no, she's got a Springfield XD now. Hey, at least if she owned a Taurus, she wouldn't have stabbed us in the back. I mean, it may not have a front sight, but
A
I just
PSA
sold
is.
that.
Hold on, guys. PSA
Oh.
is Palmetto State Armory.
okay. So here's something for you, Devin.
Forgot
Here's
not everyone
something
who
that'll scare
watches
the
this.
ever living crap
Hold
out
on,
of you.
guys.
This is an original G2. Okay.
Oh.
It is on safe, so we'll verify real quick. Here's something for you.
Who cares?
It's empty, no magazine. But wait, okay, it's on safe. I found this out the other day.
I mean, at the same time, who wants a safety anyway?
It's now a
Oh
Glock.
my god.
It's now a Glock. It's a Glock.
No, it's not. It is not.
Oh no, not a Glock. I'm saying good safety wise, with no safety. But I carry Glocks, so whatever.
Yeah, no.
I got a Wyndham 450 Bushmaster coming in.
Bushmaster. Ugh. That's a
Really?
name I haven't heard positive things about in a while.
No, not the company. The round.
Whoa.
450 Bushmaster. Got it. Okay. I only caught the last part of Bushmaster, so.
It's a Wyndham AR chambered and 450
Okay.
Bushmaster.
Woo, man.
Much better. Much better.
That can do some damage. Can do a lot of damage.
Okay, that's.
I have not done any of my homework tonight.
We're about to wrap up here anyway.
I'm right there with you, dude.
Oh no! I'm
I've written-
good. I'm good. I'll do it.
I've written 1 out of 4 pages of my paper that I've been working on since yesterday.
You know, I keep on thinking about going back to school to get another degree, but it would not really be for anything else besides just to get another degree. And I
Not worth it.
really don't want to be a degree collector. You know, I don't know why people do that. Where am I going to shoot it? Probably down at Rogers. Somebody wants to know. Roger Frames, our buddy. Probably down at his house. I don't know. I might go out to West Virginia or the Gunathon. So before we wrap up here, I wanted to go around. I'm going to start with Nick, the silent Bob of the group. And Nick, what's up with you? Anything special? Anything you want to bring up before we go?
As of right now, I am going to be getting a new shotgun from Rock Island Armory.
You went and got that one?
Yes, I did.
It was a VRP 40.
VRPA 40.
Yeah, you know I still
It
have
is.
their old guns that I've had for like close to half a year.
Really?
Yeah, I kept on saying, "Hey, give me a shipping label. Give me a shipping label. Give me a shipping label." You're not giving me a shipping label, and then they keep on getting back. Oh yeah, we'll get you one, and then I never hear anything from them. Then like a couple months later, I'm like, "Can I get a shipping label?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we forgot. Sorry." Nothing.
At that point, I would have just stopped asking.
I know I have. I haven't asked in like 4 months. So I'm gonna wait a year and be like, dude, you guys never provided me a shipping label. Yep, I have a special gun that I cannot tell anyone about.
Special guns are nice.
Yes, it's a gun that you're not. If you look up on the internet, you're not gonna find anything about it.
Oh.
Alien.
No, it's from a really very well known company, but it's one of their guns that they're not going to even announce until SHOT Show, and it's not going to start shipping until like third quarter of 2020.
Is it a Ritter and Stark?
Ritter and Stark went out of business.
With me, right?
No, I mean, I guess when you make like a $15,000 rifle, you know, the market's kind of slim.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog was chewing him, so he's got dry skin and he's ripped out a patch of fur off his butt. I'm gonna freaking clean that up.
When Roger and I went and shot that Ritter and Stark, it was beautiful, man. Roger, MJ, and I. $15,000 gun with a like $7,000 scope on it.
Hey MJ, I'm still butthurt about that 3 years later.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Donovan was supposed to be there, but there was a mix-up with the scope. Okay.
I'm still butthurt nearly 3 years later.
What happened was I was getting the scope from Night Force. Well, one of the other people that were going to go shooting with us, they decided they were going to email Night Force and get the scope for me, just to save me some work. Night Force got all confused as hell and they were like, we have no idea where to send this damn scope to. So our original shooting date was missed because of that.
By like 3 months.
Yeah, it took forever, but we got it. We went on a shot. I shot a mile on my first shot, and then I was done because,
Didn't want to ruin the high for the day. Quit while you're ahead.
Nope. I shot a mile 100% of the time. It was one shot, but it was 100% of the time.
Hey, better than me. I've never shot that far. Well, I might have, but it might not have been intentional. So.
Yeah. I shot a silhouette plate at a mile. Here's the secret, though. This is how I did it. I had a Marine Scout sniper as my spotter, and he called all the adjustments.
Yeah. I don't have anything coming up in advance, John. Right now, I've got one review. It's an Apex trigger for my Glock 48. It's not special. It's nothing new or unique. It's an Apex trigger. They do a great job. I have to figure out a way to make that 300 words.
Yeah, I can do it. I can make a spoon 500 words, 7,000 words.
I could too, but it depends on how much bullshit I'm going to throw into it on top. Not really. I will give a full honest review of it. Now, coming up soon, in fact, it should be sometime later this month, the High Point Yeet Cannon is released, and I have one of those Liberty Report.
Oh, that's awesome.
By me.
Oh.
By me. Yeah.
Cowboy,
by the way,
before that, I want to get back to the Ritter Stark. One more thing that you weren't there for. Sorry, Donovan. I was shooting a very, very large round, a 338 Lapua.
Ooh.
I pulled the trigger and a bird flew right in front of us.
John, did you explode a bird?
It was like pink mist, and Roger goes, "What the fuck? You just shot a bird!" I mean, there was nothing
to
left.
Use a shotgun, John, not a 338.
I mean, it was just like a pink cloud. Just like, what the? I remember I was like, "What the hell is that?" And Roger's like, "You killed a bird." That was.
I smoked a rattlesnake once with a bow and arrow, so not on purpose. I completely missed the target, went through a cactus, and stuck it into a freaking rattlesnake. So.
Okay, yeah. There. Before you get to you, Devin, someone wants to know. Chris Shoemake wants to know if I know anything about the ATN night vision scopes, and what the deal with those are. Why the DOJ and the FBI wanted all the people who downloaded it from Google Play, and yes. There is an open investigation, and yes, they're not saying which terrorist group, but they are saying that there is a terrorist group that bought a bunch of them, and that's all they're really saying. The scopes upload GPS information, so I'm pretty sure that with the information from Google Play, they will be able to actually see where those scopes are because the app it connects to GPS. Boom. So then, any terrorist using that scope would become drone fodder. But I can't confirm that part. I just knew there is an investigation. My sources did tell me it is into a terrorist network, but they're not saying which one. And other than that, some of the information I got, I can't release because I've asked not to, and I'm not. So I'm just not going to write about it because I can say yes. This is what I know. This is what I can release, but there's not much there that I can say, and I can't really speculate on it right now either.
Well, I hope they become drone fodder.
Yeah, well, they should. Devin, you
What's
have a
going
special
on?
guest tomorrow, don't you?
I do. I have a very special guest tomorrow. One of, and this is no disrespect to anybody that's already been on my show, but this is going to be one of my favorite episodes. I have the notorious Rob Pincus coming on my show. And if you've seen anything that I've done before, me and Rob sat down and did we basically just did a sit down and talked about a police shooting. So Pincus is like one of my favorite people. He's 10 toes down about the Second Amendment. He's one of the most, sought after trainers. Like, it's going to be a good show. So if anybody is free tomorrow night, tune in to Chronicles, 8 to 9 p.m. It'll be me and Rob Pincus. It should be good. We're going to talk about everything. From the Second Amendment rally coming up on November 2nd to, Walk to Talk America to PDN Network, everything.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Walk to Talk, not the Walk to Talk. Walk to Talk, WTTA.org is a great organization that deals with mental health. But I wanted to talk about the Second Amendment rally before we got up, and that's for the reason I went to you last. I knew you were going to bring it up. I'm pretty smart like that. On November 2nd, on the Capitol grounds, there is going to be a massive Second Amendment rally. In fact, the first 15 people that buy a plane ticket to D.C. will get breakfast made and get to eat breakfast with Kevin Dixie.
Hold on. I have a question about that.
Yeah,
What if I just reserve my parking spot in DC? Does that count?
dude. Since I somehow got roped into going to this breakfast and eating breakfast with people and talk about writing and how to write, I guess you can come as my guest.
Hey, reserving a spot in DC is almost as expensive as flying, so he needs a little bit of credit.
They're probably more expensive.
It's about the same price, Donovan. It's right there. Trust me.
I need a ride.
Yeah, that's
Devin.
what
Weekend last year when I went to the White House, I'll never drive to DC again.
Yeah.
I actually just looked at flights to go to Vegas in a few years with my wife for our 9th anniversary, and for there and back for a 3-day weekend, it's going to cost us about $1,000. But between the two of us, it's like about $400 for 2 airplane tickets. So I'm guessing parking's about $100.
Oh, there it goes. My flight. I'm going out to Vegas. I'll be there from the 24th until like the 27th for Red October. And I think it costs like $456. So. Thanks to Rifle Dynamics, X-Tech, and GOA for flying me out there and letting me stay somewhere.
Ooh.
Yeah, but yeah. Yep. We are breaking up. So with that, everyone show up to DC on November 2nd. Go ahead and send me a message if you want to meet up. I will be around there. You can listen to Devin tomorrow night because people are asking about it. I will throw up. I'll throw something up right now. So Go to blogtalkradio.com.
If you follow me on Instagram,
What-
go to my bio. I put the link in my bio.
All right.
Finally,
All right,
all you have to do is click,
what's
and
your
it'll be
Instagram?
the next episode. Trench_Chronicles. Trench_Work Chronicles.
Yeah. Trench_work.
_Chronicles.
Trench work _ chronicles. I mean, I can't type tonight. Alright, it does links up in the middle of Devin's forehead. Alright, guys, this was fun. And we'll do this again hopefully every Thursday night. I'm going to try to get this organized for 10 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. because I can do it at 10 p.m. And then we will have fun. If you guys want to follow me, jump over, search Clover Tack on Facebook. I'm going to go ahead and jump in that as well. I'm about to do his show. I'm a little bit late, but that's fine. 20 minutes late. Yeah, whatever. He has other guests, so doesn't really have to worry about it. Alright, guys. I am going to hit the outro, and I will see you guys later.